Yay, have we got a topic for you guys today? It's Lindsay and Sunny, and we're back here at hashtag GoodMom, and we are just totally excited to be here because, why? Well, for one thing, I almost did just wear my pajamas today, just for the purpose of having it be on screen. We're going to talk about pajama parties. Woo-hoo! And I know, woohoo, we've all had them. We've all been there. Well, most of us. Some people, if you haven't, please schedule one now. It's worth it.
Even as an adult, it's fine.
I have pajama parties with my friends all the time. It's a ball. But we really wanted to talk about what to do with kids and pajama parties and how to take care of yourself during the onslaught that is about to occur. So I'll share a little story, Sunny, and then I would really love for you to share your story about your son's birthday that just recently happened, because that's a hoot. And then we can discuss what it is that we would do differently or how we would take care of ourselves. So I was the kind of mom when my kids were growing up that I wasn't I call it the PTA mom, the one who would show up every week with cookies or brownies or be in the classroom. I was a working mom, and I was mostly a single mom, so had to do a lot of other stuff. But I was the mom who would go on the 2-day adventures. Now, I don't know if I was just dumb or somehow really smart, but I got to go on a 5th grade trip to the Boeing Air and Space Museum in Seattle with about, 400 5th graders and 40 adults.
My gosh.
Yeah, and it was an overnighter. Bring a sleeping bag. Oh, yeah, it'll be great. Oh, yeah. Okay, I don't remember sleeping. Not 1 minute. And that's the challenge with pajama parties, is that somebody's always awake. And it's usually the parent making sure the other kids aren't into something. So I'm really curious what happened at your most recent pajama party at your house, Sunny. And then let's talk about how we might save ourselves in the future.
Yeah. Okay. So as you guys know, I have 4 kids, and my second to oldest, it's a boy, and he just turned 13 years old. And so he turned 13 last week. We had the, birthday party with his friends that turned into a sleepover, slumber. I don't think boys call it slumber parties. I think that's a girl thing.
I don't think they call it that.
A sleepover.
They probably call it a hangout overnight.
A hangout, whatever. So he had 4 of his closest friends over. That's all he wanted. In fact, I asked him before his birthday, because his dad and I were trying to figure out what should we get our son as a present for his birthday. And literally, he's like, we took the boys out for, we saw Minecraft, the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So we went to the movie theater with the boys, because this is what my son wanted to do. And then everybody came back to our house, and then they slept over. I made them breakfast in the morning. That was it. But my son didn't want any other presents. He just wanted to be with his friends. Nice. So it's kind of a big deal. And this is like the only time of year that he has his friends really even over. Mm-hmm. And it's not because we don't allow it. It's like he doesn't even ask. I'm not sure. I don't know if that's like a kid thing, because I remember growing up, especially in the summertime when you don't have school, I was like sleeping over everybody's house.
Absolutely. Yeah, me too. I can't remember a weekend for sure that I was at home.
I know. Or people were sleeping over at my house because...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was just so much fun. And we would build forts and watch movies and, try to watch dirty things on Skinamax and,
whatever you can get your hands on. Yeah.
Whatever. And I feel, and maybe it depends on where you live, or maybe the times have just changed, because my daughters are more into slumber parties and they do a lot more of that, but it's still not like it was when I was a kid. So,
I've never paid that attention.
Yeah.
Tell us if slumber parties are popular in your area. We'd love to know.
Exactly. Yeah, because it could be a regional thing. It could be. Yeah, it could be. I don't know. Yeah. I do know, and we've kind of talked about this in another episode when we talked about helicopter parenting. Sometimes parents are a little weird or distant about sleepovers because they don't know what's in the house. They obviously can't really control the situation if you're not there. So I don't know if that's kind of lending the whole vibe, to be a little bit different now, where slumber parties or get-togethers and sleepovers and stuff like that aren't as common. But anyway, so this is what my son wanted to do. And overall, so these boys are all 12, 13 years old. And overall, it went really well. I mean, they were a little loud and there was like slamming of doors. And you guys, I do not live in a big house, okay? And I'm in California where my yard is this big. So unless they wanted to, and I think at one point they did go outside and like throw a football and do something, but they're literally in the street, there's like no room for anything. So you can't like escape and do, oh my gosh, this is really funny. At one point, I didn't know where they were. This was the next day, like after, they slept over. They stayed for like half a day the next day. And it was like one of those things where the house was way too quiet.
Where did they go? Yeah.
I was like, where did they go? And then one of my son's friends, I saw him come in through the kitchen and then go out through the kitchen door. The only thing out through the kitchen door is the garage. And I'm like, are they hanging out in the garage? I open the door. All the lights in the garage are off. They are in our minivan, like giggling and stuff. And the minivan's like rocking like this. I'm like, I have no idea what they were doing. I think they wanted privacy, and the only place they could go was in the car.
That is awesome. That's a great story. And what a good place to hide.
I guess so.
I would not have found them.
Honestly, I think they just wanted to get away. And where else you could, it was quite genius. Like, I wasn't mad, but I was like, what in the world? And then once I opened the door, they're like, we're caught. And the car's like shaking. And I'm like, okay, I don't mind that you're out there, but I actually wanted to take a picture of them.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
sure.
Come on, we got to go take a picture. Just come in the house.
That's hilarious.
Overall, it was great. The kids were very, well-mannered, very polite. I've known these kids for years, so it wasn't, it wasn't a big deal. But yeah, it's like, it only happens like once a year in my house for the boys.
Yeah, well, you hit on so many things. What a fun adventure that was. And I just love that for the boys, yay. Yes. I'm glad they had a good time. I do think that part of the reason that a lot of sleepovers maybe don't happen in today's world is the parents don't know each other.
Yeah.
When COVID happened, the one supersized downside is that there were not as many like parent gatherings where you'd get to know the parents. I mean, I remember standing on sidelines with kids in sporting events for, hours.
Yes.
That's where you get to know the parents or whatever. It's a ballet recital, whatever it is. You got to know the parents, and then you knew your kid was going to be relatively safe going to their house. So, I think for a lot of parents, it's like, should I send them there? I don't even know them.
I know.
And they haven't had as much time to get to know the kids. So that's a bummer, but we can work on that. Right. As parents, we can actually invite another parent over for coffee or tea.
That's true.
Say, hey, come and check out our house. We don't have any knives and no swords and whatever.
No knives, not even butter knives. We got rid of all of them.
We've got plastic utensils like TSA. And so I think there's some ways we could do that. But I loved the fact that they all got together and your son just really wanted to hang with his friends for his birthday.
That's all he wanted.
That is, and saying this to parents who think that gifts are the most important thing, I have found in my life that it's experiences that are the most important thing. It's not the gifts. It's not the stuff. It's the where you took them, and they remember that, Johnny fell out of the cart and broke his arm, and whatever.
Yeah.
All the things that happen, and they remember it, and it's a bonding experience.
Yep.
And for my kids now, today, they're in their mid to late 20s, we just do experiences for birthdays and Christmas. And it's like, okay, what experience are you creating today? Because that is genuinely what they want. And it's just so cool that you got to do that for your son.
Yeah, it was fun for us. Even the silly Minecraft movie. Like my husband and I were, we let them sit wherever they wanted to in the theater, but we were, still keeping an eye on them. But this Minecraft movie, apparently there was a lot of stuff online about things you could do, kind of like Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Okay.
Like, when this happens, you do this. Yeah. So it's funny because there's like a lot of kids in the theater, and at like certain times they're screaming out stuff at the movie screen. And I'm like, what? Where did I just enter in Minecraft world? Like, what is going on? And my husband and I were cracking up. We're like, where are we? We're like in this kid world here. But even a memory like that, they're all put, nowadays the kids grab their cell phones and they're doing selfies like in front of the screen, like, ah, whatever they're supposed to be saying.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're posting it somewhere, sending it, sharing it with their friends. But even memories like that of being with your friend, I know, that was the cool thing when I was a kid, is like, oh, go to the movie. You could go with a boy, but you could go with your friends.
Right.
Parents drop you off at the movie. So even something like that, like that's another memory. And yeah, they just had a great time. It was fun.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I was also thinking about that too. A lot of parents are afraid sometimes to do stuff with their kids. That it's like, ooh, I don't know if I want to go to a Minecraft movie. They get really nervous about whatever the thing is. My kids, I remember they wanted to play broom hockey. I'm like, I'm going to die, but I'm going to do it anyway. Like, let's go, and being that parent who is willing to show up and to do the thing that they want to do, I'm going to tell you, you will get good mom points.
That's true.
No matter what, because they really respect and value that you see them and that you're willing to try what they want to try.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it every time, but it is really fun. And you'll learn that you don't die from broom hockey. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Or you might even be good at it. You never know.
Yeah, you might even be good. And then there's a professional league, and then, oh no.
Oh boy.
So, the moral of the story is pajama parties are super fun and a great way for kids to bond and for you to find out more about them, because you can see their little reflections in their friends. Who is my person? Who is my kid? So I give 2 thumbs up to a pajama party.
I like them.
For anyone, any age, any time, and just have fun with it. It's a good idea.
All right, guys. Yeah. Well, if you want more information about us, check out our videos, connect with us, all that good stuff. Head on over to our website at goodmom.org, and we will see you next time.
Can't wait.